welcome you to the podcast of the Wellness Crusaders. I have today as a guest farmer Russ Olson from Heber, Utah, who is a wonderful farmer who we had on before. And I thought today we could catch up with Russ and talk a little bit about what he's been doing in the Heber community. Hello, Russ. Russ, can you hear? Okay, well, Russ might have tuned out for today. Oh, here he comes, maybe. Here he comes back on. Hello, Russ.
Hi.
Hey, we'd like to welcome you to the show of the Wellness Crusaders. And I gave a little introduction before you came on that you're calling in from Heber and you're going to catch us up on what you've been doing in Heber, Colorado. And I thought maybe you could give everyone an update on the Heber Self-Reliance Group. Can you hear me, Russ? Hello? Let me send a message and see if we can get some technical assistance from Layton. I'm sorry, everyone. I'm alone today. It happens. Everybody else is traveling or they have family issues and they have things going on. So I thought today we could just check in with Russ and see what's going on with the Heber Self-Reliance Group because they just had a fair. They had a really great showing, and I thought maybe Russ could catch us up on what's going on. Can you hear me now, Russ? Okay, I've
Yes, I can hear you.
I've told everyone that. I've told everyone today that we're going to talk about the Heber Self-Reliance Group and the fair that you recently had. Can you fill everyone in on how that went and what's going on?
Yeah, so we as Heber Valley Self-Reliance work with the county in emergency preparedness. So it's a kind of a community effort to kind of inform our local area as far as what's happening with the county emergency situations. And of course, Heber Valley we provide a large amount of the education that takes place. Plus, we have several booths to inform people of what we're doing in the valley. And of course, we had a table there for valley self-reliance, and we're just encouraging people to become members of our organization. So that they can receive information of what we're doing in the valley. So we had for the fair, I think the last number was 7 members that we got from the fair. I was really happy about that. We had a lot of good feedback. There was a little over people that attended the fair. So we were
wonderful. Can you repeat that? You broke up a little. Russ, you broke up. How many people?
We had about over 2,000 people that attended the fair. And we had
Okay, Russ, your sound was breaking up. How many people did you say attended? Russ?
Can you hear me? We're going to um, I can you hear me now?
It's Yes, I can hear you now. It's much better now. Yes. Would you
Okay.
mind please
Okay.
repeating that? It kind of broke up.
So we got 75 new members from the fair, and there was over 2,000 people that attended.
Wow, that's wonderful. And what do you mean by 75 new members? New members to the group? How big is the group now
Yeah.
altogether?
So
It seems like we lost Russ again.
yeah,
There you are.
can you, yeah,
Now I can hear you. Okay. How many people are in the group altogether?
uh, 600 people. Uh, and we have been, our organization's been going for about a year now.
That's fantastic that it's 600 people now. I can't believe it because Heber is not a very big town. I mean, it's not that small either, but 600 people, wow, a lot of people have jumped on board to this self-reliance organization. Is there a website people can go to if they want more information?
Yeah, so our website is hebervalleyready.org.
Wonderful.
Uh, and that informs, tells what classes are being taught. We teach anywhere from a month, plus other activities that we might have going on. We always post those as well.
That's fantastic. So at the festival, can you talk a little bit about who came and who had tables on display and so on? Was it the local CERT group and the local sheriff and the local firemen again? Who all came?
Yeah, so we had several of the county that participate in emergency preparedness, and of course the sheriff's department and the city police were there, and they played a big part in that. And then they also had classes that they taught and booths. A lot of the booths that we did have were people that were in a locally, and it was anywhere game to dog, you know, self preparedness for animals. Uh, Making your backyard a bounty in 1 year.
Lovely. That's just lovely. You know, all the things you can learn through that group, it's really amazing, Ross.
It's amazing, and we part of that, and we just hope to continue to grow.
Yes.
And I hope that this year will grow exponentially. We're looking at doing a fall fair as well. Probably won't be quite as big, but we try to involve the youth more as far as what they are doing as like 4-H and FFA.
Mhm. And how's it going with the garden project for the city of Heber, where you went to the city council meeting and you got land to work on that project? Has that been moving forward? Because I know
Uh,
you raised the potatoes. You had the successful potato crop.
yeah, so we're still working with this Heber City, but we're also looking at property in Midway. That is quite a large piece of property that they are looking at mainly maybe grain of that, some of that nature. Of course, we have Lori, who has gracefully let us use a couple of acres of her property where potatoes, squash, and of that is to alternate our nitrogen fixing plants. Next year we would bring that into where the potatoes were and move the potatoes on to where the bush beans were. And so we kind of circulate that because potatoes take a lot of nitrogen from the soil. So, but still always looking for property that is that um, gardening, 4-H groups, just maybe small church groups, so forth. So we're always looking for property that people is willing to let us use. So,
Well, you certainly aren't hurting anything. You're caring for the soil, you're feeding the soil, you're not using pesticides, you're raising good food for the community. And I hope people will step up if they've got a couple acres they might be willing to share with the group.
yeah, that's an important thing for us is that we are always trying to get the word out to not use pesticides, always use uh, good fertilizers, in fact, natural fertilizers to really help the soil. Regenerative gardening and regenerative farms, the push that we're really trying to help the community grow in that respect.
Yeah, that's lovely. That's amazing what you're doing. And how's your garden going? I know I have people calling me for the herbicide that I have, the non-toxic herbicide. They say the weeds are sprouting and they're starting to have to tackle them and everyone's out planting. It's pretty exciting.
Yeah, so I'm doing a couple of new things. We're expanding a few things. One is I have a big hoop house, and now I'm putting a hoop house within a hoop, and that's just so that I can start growing greens through the winter. But and Sandra has a big plan to, uh, expanding her high her raised beds,
Yes.
and so that's exciting. There, we're actually turning the farm into an education groups and actually teach on the farm. Um, that's looking really good too to help make that more available to people that would actually like come and teach at our farm.
That's
So
wonderful. Do you have, I know when I've been there before, you have been working with uh, Utah State University, someone there from the extension. Have you still been in touch with them? Because I think that's such an important connection.
yes, sir. And so we work really with him on things that he's like research.
Russ? Russ? Darn, we've kind of lost the connection. Lori, if you're there,
Yeah, I'm here.
could you please
He's
share with
probably
us?
in a, he's probably in the bad connection, but while he's trying to log back on, I'll pick up a little bit of on the resilience fair. Leighton Fonten was out there as well, and Patty Reese. And Patty was actually able to chat with people on not only what the Wellness Crusaders does, but on her 5-star diet meal training plan that she does. And Leighton was able to talk about the hypochlorous acid, which actually is an USDA pure organic mold remediation for homes. And we all know that majority of the homes do have some type of mildew or mold. And so that was a really huge success as well. On something else that the Wellness Crusaders really kind of talks about.
Can you talk about that a little bit more? Because I don't think a lot of people know about that product, and I think it's kind of miraculous.
So hypochlorous acid, actually your body makes hypochlorous acid, and they don't really know exactly how the body is making it. But they believe that when they are measuring hypochlorous in the body, especially like in the lungs, that people that are smokers or COPD have a bigger output of hypochlorous acid. And they believe because in the lungs, where we'll make it in the lungs, that the villi of the lungs is trying to catch all of the toxins from the carcinogens that are in cigarettes and other smoking tobacco products out there. And so when they measure the breath output, hypochlorous acid is higher in smokers. But basically what hypochlorous is oxygen and salt water. And it is known out there that not only does it kill mold, but it also kills RSV viruses, noroviruses, and more importantly, the COVID virus. So I know that Leighton standing here, I'm going to let him talk a little bit about that as well. That I do believe, just like I believe farmers and gardeners need the product that you are working with, that these daycares and these schools also need the hypochlorous, which is really extremely cost effective. I mean, without a discount, it's $39 a gallon. But if teachers could only think about diffusing the hypochlorous acid, in their classroom to kill the viral particles from all these little ones that are coughing, my little grandkids as well, that we go back to that possibility that there would be little less sick kids. But I've got Leighton here, so I'm just going to, Leighton was at the fair with Russ. So I'll let Leighton kind of talk about the fair here in Heber from his perspective.
Yeah, the fair this year was really great. I think we had a bigger outcome this year than last year, which means the word for self-reliance is getting out there. And people really took a liking to the hypochlorous as a bleach alternative for something to, that's not chemically based to kill viruses and bacteria and to clean the house with. And I don't know if Lori said it, but it's even so safe that you can diffuse it in the house while you're there. So it's safe to breathe in while you're diffusing it to kill the mold that's in the walls.
Wow.
But that the nice thing about it as well, Kathleen, is we're all about non-toxic products that are healthier for our environment and healthier for our bodies.
Absolutely.
So we talk about hypochlorous as far as for killing, being able to remediate mold in the house. But think of a number of people in Utah that have chicken coops and horses. You could actually be spraying this, and there are a lot of tests being done right now with a big name store, which I'm not allowed to say the name, but on one of America's largest chicken farmers, who they are right now experimenting in their coops using hypochlorous acid. And hypochlorous acid as far as in the company to keep the bacteria levels down in the chicken coops. So as we're thinking about this USDA organic product or the product that you're carrying, and I'll let you talk about that. I think when we have these solutions that make our homes, make our animals, make our farm animals, when we're using things that are less toxic, it's actually better for the environment and for our homes.
Indeed. I think I'm going to order some of that hypochlorous acid because I need that to go to my son who's living in a house in college that is moldy.
Right. And they can use the code heavy metal detox to get 15% off. And again, it's only $39 a gallon. So if they use the code heavy metal detox, they can get an additional 15%. And 1 gallon goes a long way. I'm right now, we're spraying it in our chicken coop here in Utah, which is very helpful. But I take some of the liquid from the 1 gallon and I put it in little spray bottles that I carry with. I send one to school with my little 6-year-old granddaughter.
Mm.
I'm spraying that stuff everywhere. I mean, the
Well,
shopping carts, the chicken coops. So not only am I using your non-toxic product on 9 acres of our farm out here,
oh,
we're able to provide another solution for keeping the mold and mildew down. And it looks like we may have Russ back.
Russ may be back, yes. But please, Lori, tell people where they can order this. Should they go to our website?
Yes, there is a website, and we will get them. I'll put it up in the text for you, Kathleen, while you finish your conversation with Russ.
Okay, that sounds great. Russ, are you back?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes.
Okay, yeah. So we're kind of on the road here. Yeah, I've been listening in on your conversation there, and I think we need more of these products out there for people to take advantage of. And I know I have a lot of chickens. I have over 60 chickens, so I'm always looking for something that can help my chickens be more healthy.
Of course.
And of course I have goats and ducks, so all of those things, it's important to help them be more healthy. So I'm always looking for good products that would help. So anyway, I think we had a good representation even in that area at the fair of what people can do to help their animals.
Yes.
And what to feed them, and what to do for certain problems, sickness and stuff like that. So
Yeah. I know you sent me quite a good list of people interested in my non-toxic herbicide. And Lori just shared with us the website where they can order the hypochlorous acid. That's HOCL, like H like Henry, O like Oscar, C like Charlie, L like Lima, Pro. So HOCLPRO.com. And if you use the code Heavy Metal Detox, you will get 15% off.
that's great.
Yeah, in case people want to order that. I'm actually definitely ordering some for my son's room. He can put it in a diffuser. That's a great idea.
Yeah, and I'm always worried about using toxic things around my animals because it affects everything. Like our goats, it affects the milk. Our chickens, it affects eggs. We just don't realize. Even within the feed, we're always looking for a different feed, and that's one of the things that I am moving towards is doing all sprouted grains. So I want to make sure that my grains sprout, because a lot of grains that you get have lost the ability because of how they're treated to be able to sprout, and therefore they're not getting the nutrition that they need. And so I really am trying to move towards that, to where all of my animals are eating sprouted grains for good health.
All right, Russ, is that something that the sprouted grains that you do it yourself, or is that something you buy?
No, that's something I do myself. So I'll order in, and that's one of the things that we're kind of promoting. Hopefully this year is to actually plant grains in the local area, because that's something it used to happen a long time ago, but doesn't happen anymore. You get hay, you get grass hay, but they don't plant grains anymore in the valley. So that's why we're trying to find property that would be, at least 5 to 25 acres that people are just not using, that we might could take advantage of growing grains and becoming more self-reliant as far as helping our animals
Okay.
locally.
And how much time, so that in case people are listening that have that kind of land that they might be willing to share, how much time would you be on that land? Would it be a 1 year process or 9 months or?
Yeah, it would need at least a year, because normally what we would do is try and plant in the fall to get, and so that was kind of like a dry land farming. So we plant in the fall, and then it comes right up in the spring, and then it matures quicker. That's one of the reasons they don't grow a lot of grains here, is because of the growing season. But if you use a dry land, then it comes up and matures quicker.
Oh, interesting.
Okay, and Russ, what kind of grains would you be growing? I don't think I heard you say that, unless I blanked out when you did.
Yeah, so you can get like oats. Oats is a good one. Uh, you can get even like wheat, or even some of your seed grains, but we're looking for a little bigger kernel.
Oh, looks like we lost Russ there for a sec,
Did
Kathleen.
we
But
lose him again? Like,
yeah,
that's
but that
too
gives me a
bad.
good segue. Are you able
Yeah.
to talk about your new product that's coming out,
Yeah,
or
I
is that
can.
still in the works?
No, we're actually starting to ship. It's so wonderful. It's the next iteration of Contact Organics. It's called Firehawk, and it's the same technology, but it's going to come in a single bottle of concentrate rather than coming in two bottles that you would mix with water. It comes in only one bottle. And it's the same proportions, and it's still a tiny amount of acid. We've changed our acid from acetic acid to nonanoic acid, which is even gentler. It's an even easier acid on the soil, and it's found in hand soap. So it's like the hand soap kind of acid. And we're just using that now. We have it in a single bottle formulation. For now, we're shipping 1 gallon concentrates, which makes at least 23 gallons, up to many more, up to about 30 gallons, depending on what concentration you need to use for your weeds. And we're also selling a 2.66 gallon pack of concentrate. So the 1 gallon bottle of concentrate is 129, and the 2.66 gallons is $275. And they will last you for a very long time. They have a very long shelf life, and it's a very mild product. And that's what we're starting to launch now. And soon, in the next couple of months, we will have 55-gallon barrels, we will have totes, and we will also be offering ready-to-use products, a spray bottle, and then a 1 gallon ready-to-use that comes with a sprayer. So you don't even have to mix it with anything. So we're going to have the whole gamut, and there will be something for everyone. But for now, we have the 1 gallon available in the 2.66 gallon pack.
All right, that's awesome. And what was
Yeah.
the name of the new, not acetic acid, but the new stuff that you?
The new product, it's called Firehawk bioherbicide. And
Yeah, but you said you're not using acetic acid. You're using some new kind of acid.
yeah, the active ingredient is nonanoic acid, which is what's found in hand soap. So it's another very mild acid. It still biodegrades. It's still easy on the soil biology. It's still a safe product to use around your family or even around food if you want. And it's fantastic. It's very exciting that we're finally starting to ship. So yeah, if you want information, you could either go to, you could go to info@TheWellnessCrusaders.com, our group website, or you could also go to Kathleen at liveclean.com. That's LIVKLEEN, Kathleen at liveclean.com. And I'll hook you up. We don't even have our website up yet, but we're starting to ship. We have so much demand. Everyone's calling us saying, "Oh, we want the non-toxic herbicide." So, yeah.
All right, and the best way to get it was to email you or call you, like you just said, and is that available countrywide here in America, or how's the distribution for that? Like for us in Utah, how would we get that? Just contact you like normal?
Yeah, just either go to info@thewellnesscrusaders.com or go to my website at liveclean.com, LIVKLEEN, and you can reach out to me and then I'll call you and take your order and then we ship it UPS.
All right.
Do you have any more questions?
And what about like, so you ship it, but no local distribution centers here in Utah, or?
Not yet. Not yet. It's coming. We will have that, but we don't have it yet. It's kind of just been approved by the EPA and we're just getting it going. But we will. We'll be in garden stores and we will have it available in retail as well. But I'm not sure when because we're just starting to launch it. So if you want it, we will ship it to you UPS for now.
All right, perfect, and probably something that even Russ can use on his field for the grains to kill any unwanted weeds, right, Russ?
Yeah. We've used it all last year, especially when we are first getting started, to just take care of those young weeds, which works really well. So we've always been real happy with it. We're happy with the new product and anxious to try that as well. So
yeah, you'll love it, Russ. It might be slightly more effective. It's the same technology though. It's the exact same idea. It's just more convenient with a single bottle. And thank you for sharing that, Russ. I'm actually a little overwhelmed right now with phone calls and emails from our regular customers that have already been using Contact Organics over the year. Everyone's reordering. But it's nice. It's a good feeling.
yeah, that is good.
Yeah. So anyway, I would like to share with you, I think today is going to be a little bit of a shorter broadcast, but I wanted to share with you that next week, Lori Gagan is going to be hosting Dr. Richard Fleming on inflammothrombotic disease, part 2. So it's part 2 of her interviews, and that's next Thursday, March 11th at 4 p.m. Utah time, from 4 to 6. Lori Gagan will be on with Dr. Richard Fleming. So is there anything we should add today, Leighton or Russ?
I have a quick question for Russ. So when is the next big event like the self-reliance thing you had at the local high school here? And how does someone also become a member of your self-reliance co-op group?
Yeah,
Or
so
like your gardening stuff?
So 2 ways to do that. If you get on the organization side, it's again hebervalleyready.org. And when you go on the website, you can there's just a place right at the top that says become a member. And you can just click on that. And that way we can send individuals information that we're, as far as classes that's being taught in the area. I'll be doing one the end of this month. It's how to create your own homestead in your backyard. And a lot of people think, well, I don't have 2 acres or I don't have 5 acres. But what you do is you come and gather what you can use to bring you closer to that reality of becoming maybe just a small.
Darn it. Russ, you're breaking up again. Darn.
He'll call back in. And Kathleen, if we just need to continue, I just wanted to hear about his co-op again one last time, because I think it's a really big deal for Heber, Utah. I know there's probably places out in Utah that also could be doing the things for Russ, and for any of the listeners, the farmers that are doing anything similar to Russ, we would love to hear from you. We would love to get you on with an interview with Kathleen.
Yes,
to hear
absolutely.
about how you are taking care of your farm, especially if you're doing any regenerative farming. Kathleen's the girl that you need to be interviewing with. And we're always interested in farmers, across Utah, who's doing what Russ is doing. Because I don't think he's the only one, because there's also farmers in other counties that care about the soil as much as you and Russ do.
Absolutely. That's absolutely true. And, in fact, the whole idea with Russ's farm is he wants to not only have his family be prepared just in case, but be, raising his own food and taking care of the community that's local to him. But what he'd like to do is make it a model so that other people will pick these things up, and we'll have more and more of these kinds of farms throughout Utah. That's the goal. And it's the same with this Heber Valley Self-Reliance Group. That's all about spreading the word and creating a model that can be duplicated again and again and again. So
Which you are so
absolutely.
well known for doing that. I mean, with the nontoxiccommunities.com, your model was replicable. And I think what Russ is doing, and I'm just going to chime in on, everyone in Utah needs to be prepared. You have to be able to grow your food, because the food that, you look at what Tyson's doing with the chicken. The food is so poisonous right now that at least when you're growing your own, or you're associated with somebody like Russ and Sandra Olson, that when you're able to buy produce from somebody like Russ or other farmers maybe that we don't know about in the state of Utah, it's a definitely cleaner way of eating food, buying food for your family that doesn't contain all these herbicides, pesticides, and now you got to look at the labels for crickets. It's
That's right.
crazy.
Well, how about bartering with your neighbors? If everyone gets a little something going, like Russ was talking about, maybe you don't have very big acreage, but maybe you could just raise a few chickens and have extra eggs, and you could trade your eggs for whatever your neighbor has. Wouldn't that be amazing to get all these things going in the communities?
It would be. I mean, we're going to do 30 meat chickens here in the next couple weeks, Leighton and I.
Yep.
Fantastic.
And we're doing it because you don't know what these chickens are eating. And we're eating this chicken meat and we're feeding it to our families. We have no idea. And a majority of the people, they really aren't label reading. They're busy. They don't have time. They just
Well,
don't know.
even if they were, it's not on the label. There's
Right.
no way to know. You have to know your farmer. You're so right, Lori.
Well, the state of Utah, unfortunately, lost the bill on trying to be passed that if any of the meat had mRNA, it would have to go on the label. And there were some key doctors out there fighting from Utah who weren't even from Utah fighting at Senate. And we lost that bill, and most people don't even know about it. So
That's
now if
right.
you're going to a local grocery store and the animals have any of the mRNA vaccines, that's what they're going to be cooking up for dinner.
Well, actually, I saw a post by a pig farmer who was talking today about what happened to the pigs when they were all vaccinated, like the number that died, the number that had reactions, and so on and so forth. And I think the best way to avoid this is just to know your farmer and deal with farmers who say they're not going to use those vaccines because it's experimental. And, if you're not interested in buying that kind of food, then know your farmer. Ask your farmer.
Yeah, true that. And if you can buy local chickens that are grown in the area that you know and trust, it's even
Right.
safer.
Right. Or even national brands like, say, Pasture Bird, if there are even national brands that are doing the right thing, that tell you how they're raising their animals. And, Pasture Bird is becoming a bigger company because everyone wants to buy those delicious chickens. But they will let people onto their farm to come visit. They're very transparent. They have open doors, and it's the farms with open doors that you want to support. Right? You want to support those good farmers, and they can be found. They can be found throughout Utah, throughout any state. You just need to do a little digging. And if anyone wants help, finding good food, we will help you if you email us at info@thewellnesscrusaders.com. We will help you.
And you
And
know what, Kathleen, let's put
mm, mm,
a shout out for Alicia Valdez at Mountain Meals
yes,
Wellness Bar. She
yes,
also is doing her own meat chickens and selling them at her restaurant. But Mountain Meals Wellness Bar, gluten-free, dairy-free, all the seed oil free, organic. It's one of the safest restaurants in the town of Heber
it's the
that
best place.
it is. That's the safest to eat. And she
And
also
she
does
has
catering.
beef. She has beef too. She's
Yes.
got local beef that's clean that you can buy there. And yeah, she does catering, or you could just go in. Lori and I have been there many, many times for meals or smoothies. It's the best place to go. And that's right in Heber.
Right. So there are many people in Utah, and for the ones that we don't know, we thank you. But it's so important for you to get a hold of the Wellness Crusaders because we need to let people know what you are doing.
Yes, we plan on having resources for people who are looking for clean food, no matter where they are in Utah. So we encourage anyone to call in and recommend ranchers, recommend good places to eat with clean food, conscientious community leaders, whoever can help. We
Right.
would love to refer you.
Right. Well, thank you very much. And I know we lost Russ again. Sometimes the cellular here in the valley is a little bit slow, and so we apologize about those technical difficulties. But thank you for bringing him on again, Kathleen.
Of course, I'm very grateful to Ross for coming on today, and
Yeah.
we don't have our friends with us, Jessica or Patty either, but yeah, I was happy that you came on, Lori, and at least we shared a little bit of information about what the Self-Reliance Group is working on.
Right. Okay. And then Kathleen, how do they get a hold of you if they have if they want more information on your product again?
On the non-toxic bioherbicide, they can
Yes.
go either they can email me at info@thewellnesscrusaders.com, or they can go to my own website, which is liveclean, livekleen.com. You can reach
Okay.
me either
That's
way.
great. That's great. And I know that we have a 9-acre farm out here. And if anybody wants to see the product and how it works, we've never used any herbicides or pesticides, not a single ounce on our property. And so if somebody wanted to even swing by and take a look at how easy it is actually to take care of 9 acres, Leighton is always here with me. We'd be happy to talk to you about the product and get you in touch with Kathleen. So Kathleen, thank you very much. And
Thank you,
you have
Lori.
a wonderful, blessed evening.
Thank you. You too.
All
We'll,
right. See
we'll
ya.
talk
Bye.
soon. Bye.